All right, everybody, we've got Darius Taylor here. We're going to go ahead and start with an opening statement from him, and then we'll move on to questions. Go ahead, PP.
Good afternoon, everyone. Excited to be in this chair and be in this position today to, lead our team along with our coaching staff the rest of this second half of the season. Our athletes came in today and worked really hard. We had a really good practice, lots of good energy. Obviously, a lot of them have not done a whole lot during the break. So most of it was us, just getting the feel, getting our legs back, getting up and down a lot, and really just getting some transition stuff in. So really trying to set the tone and push our pace in practice to get us back into basketball shape.
All right, our first question comes from Spencer Nussbaum from the Next. Go ahead, Spencer.
Hey, Coach. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Spencer?
I'm doing well, and that's good to hear. At the start of the season, Coach Peterson said that it would very much be a shared role between the two of you in terms of your coaching. I was wondering if you could give us some more insight into how the day-to-day has changed for you now and what sort of similarities or changes we can expect to see between Mike's coaching style and your own.
Well, again, me and Mike worked hand in hand on a lot of things. Now, he primarily focused, on offense, and I focused on the defensive side. But as the season went along, we just kind of really worked together on both offense and defense. So a lot of the things, we tried to do in the first half, which was, create chaos and do a lot of pressure and just change up defenses. That was kind of both of us. Obviously, one of our things that we have to get better at right now is defense. We're 12th in the league, and so going forward, you'll see a mix of us just being more solid and more disciplined defensively, us getting better in transition and in the half court, and still mixing it up where we'll press some and do some other things to change things up. But our defense will be similar, but again, just more fundamental, more discipline, and that's the focus for us coming out this second half. Offensively, we're going to run some of the same sets we've been running. Obviously, when we get Tiffany Hayes back, that changes some things for us. And as we get fully healthy, offensively, we'll look very similar. We'll do some stuff to get the ball inside a little more, do some stuff to just get us more paint touches and opportunities to score the ball inside, whether that's thrown in a post or getting layups. So we just got to mix it up a little better offensively, but ultimately you won't see a lot of change.
Next question is from Brandon Sudge with the AJC. Go ahead, Brandon.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're well. Can you kind of take me back to 2017 when you first ended up here in Atlanta? I know, obviously, you're at South Carolina after Joni got the job at Georgia and came down here to Atlanta. How did the connection with Nikki Collin and the Dream organization kind of happen? And what do you feel like some of your goals are personally now that you're in your first role as a head coach?
Well, the connection with Nikki is it dates back to my time as an assistant coach at the University of South Carolina. So I was there for 5 years with Dawn, helped take the team to their first Final Four, helped recruit, the recruiting class that really ultimately helped her win a national championship. And so, during my time as a college coach, you never know who's watching you or who's looking at you. So on a road recruiting and your demeanor, just on the sidelines. When Nikki got the job and here with the Dream, her husband, Tom Collin, who's a former coach, that coached, at Arkansas, obviously, and other universities, he had mentioned her to me because he knew I was in Georgia and I wasn't really working in basketball at this level. I was doing some AAU stuff. I was officiating, real estate. I was doing a couple other things to stay busy and stay occupied. And so somehow Nikki and I got connected. I don't know if it was LinkedIn or something like that. And we started having discussions and talking, and she ended up offering me an assistant coaching position. I know she interviewed, several people. So that's really how it happened. It was her husband observing me on a recruiting trail, having respect for me as a person and as a coach, and really just putting that light bulb over her head of someone that would probably be a good fit for her staff. And so we connected when we talked, and she gave me an opportunity to coach at this level, which I'm really grateful for. In terms of aspirations for me, I think I've always wanted to be a head coach. And, I've been in the business now, I've coached 9 years in college. I've coached 4 years now. This will be finishing my 4th year at the W level. I've worked with USA Basketball years before that. It's kind of like basketball operations. So team manager / basketball operations. So I've been in women's basketball for a long time. So I've had aspirations of being a head coach. Right now, for me, it's all about doing what's needed and what's best to give our ladies an opportunity to finish their season on a good note and kind of see where the chips fall after that. I want. That's where I am right now. I just want to do my best job to serve them, give them opportunities to win games, and finish the season.
Next question's from Kelly Cohen. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. You talked about change kind of in the first statement you made. How can you instill a sense of stability, though, with so much change that's been going on, in your guys' locker room?
Well, I think that every team deals with change, but I think for the most part, we still have some stability in terms of personnel, in terms of the coaches now, myself, Coach Fred, Coach Dania. We're still mainstays, and we've been here, and our ownership remains the same in terms of their support and their continued resources and things they've made available to us to continue to just move forward. And so, every team deals with change and adversity. We've probably dealt with it a little more than others, but we got a tough, resilient group that are professionals and are going to come and do their jobs every day. And we're going to continue to support them and give them all that we can to put us in a position to be successful.
Next question is from John Robluski. Go ahead, John.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on the new position. With about 13 games left in the season, do you think the playoffs are still a possibility, or are you basically just trying to stabilize the team a little bit to end the season?
I think the playoffs are still an opportunity, but we have to take it one game at a time. So, we're going to work as hard as we can during this restart, during kind of retraining camp to get better in some areas we need to get better at. And then we're just going to take it one game, one practice at a time and see where the chips fall. So, we're not counting ourselves out. We're only a few games back from, some of the others that are, in that 8th spot. So we just got to take it one game at a time. I mean, anything can happen in this league.
We have time for a couple more questions. First, we'll go to Spencer Nussbaum again. Go ahead, Spencer.
Yeah, this group has obviously been very good when Kennedy, Tip, and Courtney are all on the floor at the same time. Could you speak to just how close we are to seeing, those three on the court again with Kennedy's suspension and, Tiffany still rehabbing?
Well, it's a work in progress. We're, Tiffany is still working on getting 100% healthy, and Kennedy is still working her way back. So it's a work in progress. I can't give you a timetable on that yet, but hopefully we'll know more soon.
And last question, we'll go back to Brandon Sudge. Go ahead.
Coach, I kind of wanted to follow up on what I asked you earlier, but as you open with us, you said that you're excited to be in the spot. I know that you have team-oriented goals, but this has to be kind of a cool moment personally. Like, when did you feel like you could be in the spot, when you could be a head coach? And is this kind of where you want to be at the point of your career to have these opportunities, obviously?
I think that, obviously I've prepared my career, to be a head coach. Like most assistant coaches one day want to be a head coach. And some people don't get that opportunity. I didn't necessarily seek out or look for this opportunity. I've had, offers to go do other things and coach elsewhere, but I really think I was just chosen. It happened, so sometimes it's just, God has a plan, you may have a different one. And obviously God's plan was for me to be the head coach of this team. And so I'm not going to take it lightly, and I'm going to be, I'm humble and honored to be able to continue in this position as long as I'll be allowed.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. All right, we've got Monique Billings here. If you have a question for her, please raise your hand. I'll call on you. And we will start with Spencer Nussbaum. Go ahead, Spencer.
Hey, Monique, how are you doing today?
Hi, good, thank you.
Good to hear. I just wanted to ask kind of a two-part question. First up, just talk about how you spent the break, how you enjoyed it, etc. And then secondly, if you could just talk about, what this transition looks like with now Darius stepping in and what that looks like for the team so far.
My break was fantastic. I went home and visited family, got some workouts in too. So it was a good balance between relaxing and just still getting it in. And I mean, the mentality here hasn't changed. Like, we have to just focus just on us with what we have. Our kind of, I guess, mantra for the year has been like, we have all that we need in this room. So just keeping that same energy every single day, just battling at practice. I know we don't have games for a while, so just really just focusing on the process of getting better every single day, step by step.
Brandon Sudge, go ahead.
Hey, Monique, I mean, you've obviously been in this organization now for a while, and you've been able to spend time with Darius over these last couple of years. What type of qualities do you feel like he will bring as a head coach, and do you feel like he is the right person to kind of step into a role like this?
Yeah, I mean, being coached by Darius, he's always been the post coach, and he really just believes in us as a group, which I think is so important for any coach, believing in your players. He's just solid in that way. So I'm grateful to have a coach who believes in us, who's going to fight for us, and who's not giving up on us. And so that makes us fight for each other too, and not want to give up on this season, and just really start out the second half strong.
Spencer, back to you.
Yeah, I know you guys obviously have a playoff push in mind. Could you just talk about what you think the biggest either changes or just things you need to do in the next couple of weeks of practice need to be for you guys to really make that push and make the playoffs?
Yeah, defense. So locking up on defense, focusing on transition defense in the half court. I think that's where we're going to make our biggest strides. The offense will be there. Still getting our chemistry together. Now that we have like a second training camp, I think it'd be good for us to get our chemistry together. But yeah, it's just like the little details and the little things.
And Brandon Sudge, back to you for the last question. Go ahead.
Monique, you guys obviously added Candace on the roster. How does the addition of somebody like that, who's been a bat all-star, WNBA champion, how does that kind of help you guys get things back on track here in the second half?
Experience is key. So Candace has so much experience, so much wisdom. I think she'll be able to bring a lot to the table as far as that, and just her being a vet and using that veteranship just to kind of help guide us and just to be an example for us. I think that'll be really helpful.
All right, thank you so much, Mo.
Thanks.
All right, we've got Aari McDonald here. If you have a question for her, please raise your hand. I'll call on you. And Spencer, we'll start with you.
Hey, Aari, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, and that's good to hear. I just kind of have a two-part question for you. First off, how did you spend your break? How do you enjoy it? And then second half of the question is, as you reflect on the first half of your rookie year, what's been either the best advice or kind of the best lesson you've learned from the first half?
Yeah, my break went really well. I went back home for 9 days. I worked out with my brothers. I'm an old AAU coach. Just spent time with my family, and I got to watch my little nieces play in their AAU game, so that was great. And just now, starting the second half, I look back and reflect on the advice that I've received, and just my teammates just telling me just to stay ready and just to keep doing what I'm doing and just keep working, and my time is coming.
Brandon Sudge, go ahead.
Hey, Ari, it's nice to talk to you again. So obviously this is another change you've gone through now, in only your rookie year. It feels like you've had a lot to kind of handle, but do you feel like it kind of helps that Darius was kind of hand in hand with Mike all year? And after spending some time with Darius, what qualities do you see in him that make you believe that he can help you guys as a head coach?
Yeah, I'm glad that we have someone who's already on staff, and everyone likes Darius. And me personally, I love how he's a defensive-minded person, and so that goes hand in hand with how I play. 'Cause that's something I value first. But I mean, I'm just happy, to have him. I think we all are. We're embracing this change really well, and just you can tell by today went really well.
Spencer Nussbaum, back to you.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that clip from Slam, obviously with you sitting down with Odyssey and Crystal. Just with the veterans that you've had on the team this year, could you talk about what they've meant to your development and just what it means to have them as part of the group?
Just having the vets around me on my team, it has meant a lot to me. When I've had my down days, they're always there. They always pick me up, and I really appreciate that. And it's been vice versa. They have their down days, and I'll be, the light to light their days. And so, I mean, they've been giving me advice. I mean, they've done it before. They've experienced what I'm experiencing. So, I mean, I'm all ears. I'm always open to learn and hear from those who are older than me and have been through what I'm going through.
Brandon Sudge, back to you.
Ari, can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit more in terms of like what practice was like? Kind of like paint the picture for me in terms of what it was like with Darius leading things. What were some of his messages that he had this afternoon for you guys?
Coach Darius is just saying to embrace change. We're all here. This is the second half of the season. Forget about what happened in the first half of the season. Just we got to be positive, move on, and we still have that run, that stretch, to make playoffs. But just today, it looked like first day of training camp. I mean, but you'll think everybody was really tired. I mean, we were, but we really pushed through, and I was really proud of my team today. We had energy. Everybody's working hard. Like, we could have stayed down, but we did really well today. We had good energy. Everyone's talking, so today was really good.
And Spencer, back to you for the last question. Go ahead.
Sure. Monique and Darius both talked about how you guys need to get better on the defensive end of the floor. Could you just talk about what sort of specific changes or adjustments you're looking to make on that end?
Yeah, we're 12th in defense. I want to say transition, but I mean, there, major changes that need to be made. It's just communication, just the little things, just helping one another. If somebody get beat, you help, you just step up, communicate, just pretty much moving your feet and just being present to the spot. So it's minor changes that we have to make, but I mean, I think we can do it.
All right, thank you so much, Aari.
Thank you.